My name's Samir Lodha. I'm an orthopedic hand surgeon at Panorama Orthopedics and Spine Center. I was born here in the States, but to Indian parents, but we moved down to Mexico City when I was 3 years old. I actually grew up in Mexico City and stayed there through high school and came back to the United States for college and medical school and all of that. I actually took a little bit of a detour before coming into medicine and worked on Wall Street for a few years, but realized that I needed something that was a little bit more soul nourishing than soul sucking, and ended up coming back to medicine actually after that brief little interlude. When I was in New York City working on Wall Street, I was there right around on September 11th, and for the immediate aftermath of that. And there were a lot of opportunities immediately after that to kind of help out and be part of something a little bit bigger than what we had been doing before that. And I realized that I drew a lot more sort of personal satisfaction from that kind of work than I had from my work before that. Ultimately led me to WashU in St. Louis, which is where I did my medical school training. While I was there, I became particularly interested in orthopedic surgery. In orthopedics, we're privileged in the sense that our patients often, not always, but often will present to us with a readily definable and often solvable problem. And that really appealed to me, the fact that we could make such a tangible impact on our patients with one sort of episode of care. Did my orthopedic residency training at Rush University Medical Center in Chicago, and then completed my training in hand surgery and microsurgery at Duke University in North Carolina. In an average day, I might see a patient with carpal tunnel syndrome, a patient with thumb base arthritis, a patient with a distal radius fracture, and an elbow fracture. I think that sort of breadth of conditions that we treat is really interesting. And I first learned about Panorama through Dr. Ferran, who did part of his training at the same place where I did my training. Not only do we treat almost the entire spectrum of orthopedic conditions, but we also are able to do almost everything for the patient in one location, which really cuts out a lot of the inconvenience for the patient and makes our job much more efficient and much easier as well. I especially like the fact that because of the variety of surgeons, subspecialists that we have, I'm able to bounce ideas off of either my trauma colleagues or my joints colleagues or my sports colleagues, all of which lends it almost a university type feel for us in the sense that we can continue to educate ourselves about new techniques and new ways of treating our patients, which is really pretty spectacular to be able to find in the private practice world. In my free time when I'm not at work, our two young kids keep us fairly busy. They keep our hands tied a lot of the time. But my wife and I really do enjoy hiking, and I think once the kids are a little bit older, we'll get into more of the sort of Colorado snow sports and skiing and snowboarding and things like that. But right now, yeah, it's mostly hiking and tennis in the summers is what we're kind of doing.